How's it going? I'm Jared Gillis. Welcome to another All About RVs. Today, we're going to be looking at some outdoor RV accessories that might help you enjoy the outdoors just a little bit more. That campground area right outside of your RV. It's always great to grab a good pair of hiking shoes and find a good hike in the area, but enjoying the outside area just outside of your RV, there's a handful of things that we can do to help you enjoy that. So let's start off with the list because there's nothing better than going out and enjoying a good campfire when you're out there RVing. When you're with friends, you want to sit around the campfire and just enjoy a good conversation or roast some s'mores, but you may not always be able to get firewood, and that's where the Propane Fire Pit might come in handy. So the one we have is just a Camco fire pit. It comes in this carrying case, and it's all just self-contained in this one little unit besides the propane. Once you pull it out of the bag, the legs fold down so it can stand, and it has a 10-foot hose to be able to connect to a 20-pounder or bigger propane tank. It came with the lava rocks to be able to put over the burners so that it makes it look more like a real campfire. The first time that I saw a propane fire pit, I thought, why not just make a real fire? But there are a handful of reasons why it might be useful to have a propane fire pit. There may not be any wood in the area that you're camping or going RVing, so being able to have propane that's readily available and you can just take anywhere, be able to have on the RV is a positive for something like this. The second thing is sometimes there's a fire ban in the area where you can't burn wood, but you can have propane devices. So you can still have a campfire when there might be a burn restriction. In that same thought, the third thing is some RV parks and some campgrounds don't allow you to have wood burning fires. So being able to have this propane set allows you to be able to have a fire then. And one of the last reasons is a propane fire like this isn't going to have the smoke like a wood fire would. So if you're one that's not partial to having smoke in your eyes and smelling like a campfire at the end of the evening, then this is a great option. Another nice thing about the propane fire pit is you can just turn it off. You don't have to douse it out before you go to bed or worry about the fire getting stirred up again in the wind at night. You can just turn off the propane and it's done. So when you want to call it a night and you want the fire to be done, you just turn it off. Like I said, the first time that I saw a propane fire pit, I wasn't a huge fan. You do burn through quite a bit of propane when you're using this, but I do see the value in it now. Now, as you're sitting around the campfire, you're probably going to be sitting around in some kind of camp chair. So there's always the traditional folding camp chair for an RV outdoor accessory, but I personally haven't found an outdoor RV camping chair that I have just absolutely loved, that I'm like, hey, this is the camp chair. So if you have one that you absolutely love, leave it down in the comments for your recommendation, because I would love to see what you guys are using out there. But a good camp chair allows you to be able to enjoy the outside space around your RV and enjoy that campfire. But next on our list, if you're looking for a little fun and games around camp, there's always a handful of games out there that we see RVers using. So one of them is ladder golf. It looks like a real easy game to be able to store away and be able to set up and use in front of your campsite. Or there's always a corn toss or lawn toss, a game that I've seen around a lot of RV parks and a lot of RV campgrounds. Hey, can I challenge you to a round? You can be red or blue. Blue. Yeah, I'll play, but I'm totally gonna beat you. We're just playing for fun. No, right? I'm playing to win. You want to go first, or do you want me to go first? No, I'm not looking for an unfair advantage. Let's do rock, paper, scissors. Okay. Okay, you go. I'm so beating you. What is this? It doesn't even feel like there's corn in here. This can't be official. You could bring your own next time if you wanted to. You could bring a regulation one. I know this isn't regulation, but just for fun. Okay, moving on from games, there's some things you can do on the outside of your RV to make it a little bit more clean, a little bit more homey, a little more comfortable. So one of those things is you can add a tablecloth to the picnic bench. You never know what somebody's placed on that picnic bench before, whether they put their drain hose on there when they're packing up or whatever. If you have a tablecloth, you can have a clean surface, and it's much more comfortable and clean to be able to use that picnic table. Now, it doesn't work too well on this picnic table, but we have some clamps that you can take your tablecloth, and on a typical wood picnic bench, you can put these clamps on there and it keeps it from blowing away and just kind of holds down the edges. So that could be handy too. Another thing to help with the cleanliness around camp is to have a good mat in front of your RV. Now, we just have a really simple household mat that we put in front of the door of the RV, but there are some fantastic options out there where if you get sand or dirt on there, that sand is going to work its way through the mat so you don't track it into the RV. So a lot of great options out there for having a mat in front of your RV, and that's a fantastic thing to have to keep it cleaner inside. So I'm going to put links down in the description to all the different things that we talk about in this video. But one thing you can do around the RV to make it feel a little bit more homey is to add some lights on the awning. It's pretty simple to hang lights from your awning or something simple like that. We have these plastic accessory awning clips that they slide right into the awning. I would prefer the ones instead of these plastic ones that we have to be more of the nylon webbing or like a fabric that still has a hole in the bottom and can still slide through the track, but then it is able to roll up with your awning if you just wanted to leave them attached. So we have to pull these off every time, but they just slide right into that track and we're able to hang the lights from this little hook. It's kind of a fun way to change the outside of your RV to be able to enjoy it. Now, talking about outside RV things, we have to talk about cooking outside of the RV. So we did find this new way of cooking outside that is really kind of clever. We are still huge fans of using our Blackstone griddle outside, and we use that thing all the time. It's been fantastic. We love it. But we found this pop-up fire pit. So it has a dual purpose. So in one way you can use it just as a fire pit. It folds up almost like a camping chair and fits inside of a bag, and it has this wire mesh on the bottom to be able to hold the wood and whatever you're burning on there. And it's a great little fire pit to be able to take with you. It's not bulky, it's not heavy, and it's really easy to set up. It even comes with like a heat shield that you could use underneath it, so you could use it over grass, you could use it on a deck. It's really kind of interesting. It has these edge metal pieces to kind of hold the embers in and make sure things aren't going flying everywhere. So it's been a useful little fire pit for us. And with this fire pit, you get to have that wood burning smell and that traditional fire. So if you needed to have something where you couldn't just put it on the ground, you couldn't already use a fire pit that was there, this little pop-up fire pit is actually pretty clever. Now, a couple of things about this fire pit. This has the wire mesh that goes in the bottom. So all of your lumber, all your wood is going to sit on here. So whatever you're burning, this is the surface that it's going to burn on. So it is a kind of a consumable product. They say it's a lifetime warranty on the frame, but for this, they say you should be able to get 50 burns out of it. So it is something that you have to take care of. You don't want to add any accelerants to your fire, like lighter fluid or gasoline or any kind of color changer to your fire, because those things burn really, really hot, and it will make this basically fall apart. You'll burn through it. So they say it can hold around 125 pounds. I don't think I would test it anywhere near that weight limit. We were able to do just your typical standard fire, and I think it would work fine for that, but you just want to be careful of chemicals and you don't want to overload it. You want to take care of it. This is what your fire is burning on. Now, since it's a wire mesh too, the idea and the theory behind that is that air should be able to come up from underneath and your fire should be able to burn more thoroughly and hotter, meaning that you get less smoke. I don't know if we really necessarily noticed less smoke, but our fires did burn down well. The other thing that came with our fire pit was this heat shield. They say you can burn your fire over grass or the deck and it's not going to damage either of those. This Velcro's on there, but we haven't used it, so we haven't needed it. So I can't tell you if it works well or how it holds up to the fire, but it came with our fire pit. But I can tell you with the design on this fire pit that it does meet the BLM and the National Forest Service fire pan regulations. So anywhere that you need to use a fire pan in those situations, this meets those regulations. Now, you could just buy the pop-up fire pit, but if you wanted it to be dual purpose, you could buy additional grill grates that go on there, and it has these brackets that slide on there and hold the grill in place. So you could use it as a barbecue if you wanted to also. Well, that's going to do it for our short little list of things that we think are great to use on the outside of your RV to really enhance and enjoy more of the outdoors. So if you have something that you absolutely love and would love to share, put that down in the comments. We would love to hear that. So that's going to do it for today. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos about RVing, hit that subscribe button. And if we don't see you on the road, hopefully we will see you next video.